Hello, this is Angelo, and we are here with the review of day 2 and to prime ourselves for day 3 of the Game Has Changed event. What a day yesterday. And of course, before we begin, as always, I want to thank you for being here and congratulate you for being here. By now, you know how easy it is for you to get distracted and also derailed from your vision, derailed from the happiness and success you so much deserve and desire. Of course, now you want to switch off your phone or at least all your notifications, and you want to also close all the tabs that are open on your laptop, PC, or tablet from which you're watching this masterclass from. Let's just say that for the next 30 minutes or so, as we prime ourselves for day 3 of the Game Has Changed event, in this world, it is just you and me. And of course, this is also the case once Dean gets on the stage to kick off day 3 and until this day is over. This is how we make the most. Yes, sure, you can take notes, but also remember that what is the most important of all is for you to be fully present, to participate fully, to have like hang on your door this do not disturb sign. And if you don't have it, send a message to everyone around you that, you know what, these 3 hours are for me only. Now, as always, I want to ask you, how do you feel? It's the question that I keep asking at the beginning of each masterclass, and the question that you want to ask yourself many times during the day, simply because the better you feel, the better your present is, the better your state is right now, and the quality of your life, and also the more fuel you have to reach your destination, to achieve your goals. Of course, always remember that we have set our thermostat to the happy and unstoppable state, meaning that whenever we feel that we are under this thermostat, something kicks in our consciousness, and we start doing the exercises of perspective, forgiveness, love, gratitude, and happy landing that I will be demonstrating to you later on, so that we can make the most. This is how we get results from a happy and unstoppable state. Always remember that everything is easier from a happy and unstoppable state. And you don't need success to be happy, as most think. What you need, though, is happiness to be truly successful. Now, I told you the day before, I told you yesterday, I want to remind you once again that today is about you. It's not about anyone else. Today is about you. You are the game changer in your life. And once you upgrade yourself, everything else will upgrade for you. Now, also remember that you are enough. And also remember that your inner gifts are valuable. What you have within, what is begging to be externalized and be shared with the world and become in the form, most probably of a digital product, become value for others, is time. Now, of course, Dean presented to you like an amazing opportunity to have your own digital product, to create the life and business of your dreams, simply because it is fitting to the 21st century, let's say. This wasn't the case like even 2 decades ago, or even a decade ago. And I don't know if you caught up with a reel I did before. And I want to show you now. I also have Brendan Burchard's Experts Academy. This is one of the first digital products that I have consumed, let's say, right? So imagine I didn't even have to buy this. I got this as a bonus when I went to his 10K Mastermind back in 2011 or 2010. And what matters, though? Look at this. Look how difficult it is for you to ship your product if you were back then, right? So now everything is much, much easier. You even have AI. You saw what Gigi is capable of doing. And you have AI to be basically your partner. And as I'm telling you all these days, what you're doing is leveraging technology. And the more you leverage technology, the faster and easier you get to your destination. So I also had this amazing Money Master series that I got. It is created from Tony Robbins. and he interviewed people like John Reese, Frank Kern, and Jeff Walker. All these were like the early gurus of internet marketing. And why am I showing you this? Because you want to remind yourself how easier and more accessible this game has become. And the game has changed in so many ways that, let's say, we don't like inflation or COVID or the wars that are happening. I'm reminding you that I am in Greece, and within a 1,000-mile radius, I have like two wars to worry about, right? So yes, many things are, let's say, unfavorable, things that we wouldn't like to have. But also, technology has created so many changes for us that is making our game much, much easier and much more accessible. And also, let me add, the risk is much lower now. All you have to do is create like if you create a digital video and you upload it, you don't need infrastructure. Back then, you had to make like 500 or 1,000 of these beforehand and make sure you have the customers then, because otherwise it would be like you will have like a huge warehouse of boxes in your own home, most probably. So that said, I promised you in this reel that I have created a few hours ago, I promised you the 4+1 basically M's for success, because there are millions and millions of digital products, and some of them, from my perspective, the successful ones have all these 5 M's. Number 1, mindset. You, the leader of your digital product, must have the right mindset. Your mind must be set to the success that you want to create. You cannot have a $1,000 mindset and create a $1 million launch. This is impossible. You will not go far from the limits that your mind has set. Now, number 2, manufacturing, meaning the actual product, the product that you are creating. This is something that you want to be working on every single day and making sure you upgrade it and it is fitting to the desires of your ideal customer, and it is fitting to the feedback that you get from your reviews. This is what it takes to be truly, and we will see later on what Dean presented yesterday and what are like the game-changing attitudes that you have during the day in order to be successful. Number 3, marketing. And this for me was like one of the game changers for sure, because I thought that simply by creating a good product, I would be done. You know, it will like go everywhere, you know, like from word of mouth alone. And you know what? Word of mouth can work, but it could be a slow process, especially if you're not creating like a nice packaging for everyone or a nice environment for everyone to feel that they are welcome in your community. And let me give you another piece of advice here, because for me, this was one of the like most impactful, game-changing insights that I had in the past decade. So we always talk about marketing and we always talk about creating value. And let me tell you this, value is subjective. You've heard me say that many times before if you follow me. Value is subjective, meaning what I'm saying right now has nothing to do with how much I value it, but how much you value it. And if you don't like me or what I'm saying right now, you will be gone, right? And this is the same with you. When you create content, when you create value for your ideal client, always remember, it is their call how much they value your content. Now, where marketing comes in handy is for you to communicate their value. This is something that I wasn't doing when I was beginning. So I was creating what I thought would be like a very powerful piece of content, but at the same time, I wasn't doing much to communicate to my audience that this is actually so valuable. So this is where marketing is like essential basically for you to communicate your value. Number 4, momentum. You cannot double. You've heard Dean Graziosi say it many times over. You cannot be doubling and succeed in this industry. Now, that said, it does not mean that you have to have 20-hour work days. It just means, number 1, being effective, and number 2, being having a good plan and some consistency, some frequency. For example, social media is not my best fit, but every single morning, no matter what is going on, I am creating a daily shot of inspiration, and I haven't missed one day from January 1st, 2015 up until now. So this for me is my consistency. Or the webinars that I am creating, the life and business coaching webinars that I am creating every month, not whenever I feel like it. And this is how you build momentum. And last but not least, something that has nothing to do with the industry, something that has nothing to do with your business and everything to do with your life. And that is meaning. You must attach a meaning to what you're doing. It has to have a purpose. So now you understand that, for instance, me, for example, if you know me, you know how much I love sailing, for example, in the Greek islands. So when my digital product is financing this lifestyle, this freedom that I so much desire in terms of time and location, because I know I can do my business from anywhere in the world. So why not be on my perfect island, which for me is not a solid island, it is my sailboat, right? This would be for me my ideal place in the world. So that said, why not do it? Why not attach this purpose? Because now your why has exploded, it has skyrocketed. Now you're charged with so much intent to change what needs to be changed so that you can achieve all these things. So the meaning is what fuels all the other M's, all the other 4 M's. Now, let's do our review of day 2 of the Game Has Changed event. And of course, there were basically 3 points that Dean covered. And number 1 was turning sales into service. And for me, I didn't have to try to do that. It came to me automatically. Let's say this is my character. And I really enjoyed many years back when I heard Dean say that for the very first time. I really liked the fact that I was set in the right direction on that end. Now, he also said, fall in love with your client. And I have so many clients that are doing number 2, which is fall in love with your product. And you don't want to do that. You want to fall in love with your client first, as Dean Graziosi said, because now you have someone you want to take care of. And falling in love with your client makes you create a much better product. Number 3, fall in love with their outcome. And I want to add something here. To me, it's not so much falling in love with the outcome. If you heard me, if you watched any of my webinars, especially the business coaching webinars before, you've heard me say that for me, one of my best moments in life is to receive from you a message that, Angelo, you know what? I now have achieved my goal. I have landed happily and safely at my destination. It is done. This is for me a game-changing moment. This is for me a truly inspiring moment. This is what makes my heart sing. But you know what? For this to happen, you don't just want to fall in love with your ideal client's outcome. You want to believe it more than they do. Because otherwise, if they believed it, they would have already done it, right? And you are here simply because something within tells you that I want more, I deserve more, I can do more, but somehow I don't find a way to do it. And this is why you resonate with me right now. This is why you're set, even though your time is so valuable. Right now, you say, you know what? Angelo was right. Every peak performer is doing a warm-up, so I will do a warm-up so that I am ready for Tony and Dean later on in just a few minutes time, right? So next, the art of messaging. You want to craft a message that truly delivers, that truly moves people, especially nowadays that we have so many conflicting messages, and we have the average person consumes a few thousand pieces of content every day, and somehow you have to stand out, and somehow you have to deliver your message and inspire others. And how you do that? Number one, you enter the conversations that are already in the mind. So your ideal client has some conversations in their mind. They have some problems that they're dealing with. And they say, okay, so how am I going to do that? I feel now I feel stressed with this situation. I have to do something about it. And this is where you can enter. And also, people buy from you when you feel understood, when they feel understood. That, for me, was a game changer. I thought that others have to understand me. No, I have to understand my ideal client. It's the empathy that makes me a better coach, a better communicator, and everything else. Next, solve their problems and fuel their goals. Meaning that the moment you solve a problem for your client, not only you have removed a problem from their life, but also you have upgraded their view of the future. And this is where your value becomes truly, let's say, invaluable and priceless to your ideal client. Number three, create an irresistible offer. Not create an offer, not, draft something and send it to your audience. Create an irresistible offer. Do your very best to move your client into action, because, and this is something I have never ever considered, how selfish we can become when we say, you know what? I made this amazing product, okay? And if you like it, you can take it. Otherwise, I don't care. What on earth? I mean, if your ideal client does not get your amazing product, they will not solve their problem in the way that it can be solved, that you know it can be solved. So that said, you want to create an irresistible offer to remove or to overcome all the resistance that is still there for them to move their life to the next level. And that means meet them where they are. You cannot drive with 100 miles an hour right now and ask me to hop in. You need to slow down so that you can take me with you. Number two, overcome their fears. They do have fears. It is a challenge to invest money in you, especially in the beginning when they don't know you, right? Apple now is a multi-trillion-dollar company, but when they got started, they had to jump through hoops to invest, to impress everyone and have them buy one of the first Apple computers. And number three, the last but not least, give them the tools to achieve their goals. So it's not just about giving them some advice, basically, but giving them whatever they need to achieve their goals. So your marketing is the promise that they move from the problem state that they are right now and they move to the solution. And your product is the thing that delivers just that, if not more, right? So one of the ideas of this is to, if you want to overpromise with your marketing, you want to over-deliver even more with your product. And of course, I have been talking now for 5 to 10 minutes in that review, and I can show you one picture that is 1,000 words, as we say, and demonstrates all that was discussed basically yesterday. And that is that we all are bridge builders. We all build a bridge between where our ideal client is right now and where they want to go. That's about it. And they have no idea how to go about it, so you build a bridge for them. And every year, I have one quote that I pick as my quote of the year, let's say, like the game changer quote of the year, my super quote. And last year, the quote was from Elsie Lincoln Benedict, who said that as long as you focus on the gap and not the bridge, you will never be able to bridge the gap. And now I am asking you, I cannot hear you, of course, but isn't that the case with most of us? When we have a problem, we focus on the problem rather than the solution. And this is why we need some like external input. This is where you fit in. And let me tell you this. There is something that you have within that you might feel it's so trivial that you wouldn't share it with anyone. And this is most probably the thing that you should be sharing, because it is trivial to you, but it could be a game changer to someone else. People need simple solutions. They don't need to go to Mars or anything. They need simple stuff that work. And for example, you might have an amazing, especially those of you who are watching from Greece, you might have like an amazing Greek recipe to share with the world, and that could be it. Or like an amazing way to lose 10 pounds, or an amazing way to stop having, like this neck problems and everything. It's just that simple. It all has to do with you caring enough, being in love with your ideal client, being so much in love with your ideal client that you will do whatever it takes. Number one, to create that product, to have them to like create that bridge, to have them cross that bridge and solve their problem. And number two, to market it in a way that they will actually take action. And for me, that bridge for you, I believe, is the MBS that Dean launched and proposed yesterday. And to coupled with my bonuses and my time, because I will be investing my time on you, on your growth, you will be having like personal time with me to have your questions answered and to not just create but that digital product, but also having these game-changing insights in building a successful digital funnel. You are here because of my digital funnel, so I have done my job right. And you see how much I care that I even took time of my life to create a priming session for all of you before Dean goes live, so that you are even more prepared. So for me, the right bridge for you right now is to truly cut through all this noise that is out there and focus on one thing and build that bridge by simply having, like making a few clicks, investing not in MBS itself, investing in you, as Warren Buffett says, and making sure that tomorrow morning you're all set for the next chapter of your life by going through, first of all, the MBS system, the Mastermind business system, and also make sure that you have secured my coaching bonuses as well, that I will be delivering to you promptly, let's say, after the event today. So that said, with this plan, you're all set. Always remember how I got started back in 2008, feeling that everything was over, thinking that there was no way out of this, facing bankruptcy in the face, truly, like not being able to move. I was so incapable of making the next move. And just because I decided that I will not lower the bar, I will get up. This is where personal business development and internet marketing came into my life, and all these amazing things happened for me afterwards. Now, as I said yesterday, I have also for today another book for you. And before we move to our priming session, I want to reveal that book to you. And it is from Richard Branson. This is his, I think this is his first autobiography, and I feel blessed enough to have it signed by Richard Branson himself. And this is what I want to talk to you about. And I want to move back to that picture for you for a moment. Think of that bridge. You're now on what we call the point A. You're on the problem side. And on the other side, it's the solution side of your life, right? That you actually know what you want to do and you know how to do it now. And you have like an amazing team, the Mastermind team and my support to make that happen. So why did I choose this book? First of all, I had an amazing time reading this book on actually sailing in the Aegean, sailing in the Greek islands, as I was telling you before. And I was in a hammock, and I was a hammock on the sailboat, and I was reading that book. And I was fascinated with Richard Branson's life. I mean, this guy, he really did what he wanted to do. And he faced some like truly hard times. I remember there was a time when a train crashed in the UK and somebody got killed. And this, of course, was gut-wrenching, right? It's not easy to face. But you know what? At the same time, this is just a little bit of his life. What matters to me is that you make the right decision today, as Dean will be presenting like the final pieces of the success puzzle, as I like to see it. And he will tell you why it is such an important time for you to make that right decision. And why am I telling you all this? Because when you decide to write your own autobiography, and you might never do it, but you know what? You don't want your life to write itself. You want to be a conscious creator of your life and choose to do exactly what you want to do and choose to live your life as you want it on your terms, as I like to say, your super life. And your super business is the best way to finance and liberate yourself enough in order to have that super life. So let's start our priming session because we are getting ready for Dean Graziosi to kick off day 3, the final and most important day of the Game Has Changed event. Number 1, I remind you once again, Angelo, you told me yesterday, you told me the day before, yes, this is how important it is. Number 1 is acceptance. You want to fully accept what happened in the past, no strings attached. Number 2, destination. You need a point A to accept that point A that you are right now, and you need a destination. And now your GPS, your subconscious mind, can chart a course from where you are to where you want to go. Now, how will that work? You need belief. And of course, in the beginning, belief is not easy. Basically, what belief is, for you to visualize it, it is as if you're driving at night and all you can see is about, like 300 yards ahead or 274 meters if I've done my math right. Okay, and this is about it. So how do you go from desiring and wishing for something to actually believing? You have to go like step by step. And the first thing you do is you forgive yourself. You want to let go of this emotional weight. This is how you start upgrading your emotional state to reach that state of belief. So what you do basically is say to yourself, I forgive sincerely, completely, and irrevocably, meaning there's no way back, this, that, or the other. This situation, I forgive Angelo for having like a very poor masterclass today. Okay, I forgive myself for making that mistake last year, and this, that, or the other. I forgive, like the government for raising the taxes or whatever. And focus fully on raising your emotional state enough to move to the next level and the next step, which is love. And you always start from self-love. And it is an act of self-love and self-respect to make the right decision today and move to the next chapter of your life. Yes, it can be scary, but also remember the team that you will be working with during the next few months, right? Next, gratitude. And as I like to say, always you begin with the simple things like the air we breathe, like the internet that keeps us together right now. Actually, I'm doing a priming session for each and every masterclass. So for this priming session, I have my own priming session. And one of the things I do is feel gratitude for the technology that is like hanging in there as I'm presenting to you. Otherwise, our conversation will be interrupted, right? And last but not least, now you're ready. Once you've done your rampage of gratitude, you're ready for your happy landing exercise. And we are going to do this once again together, a short version of it. I just want to remind you how amazingly it feels to be at your destination. And this is the best, for me, the best and most effective action you can take every single day, to remind yourself how amazing it feels to be at your destination, to train your mind and your heart to the frequency of the life and business you so much deserve and desire. So the best way to upgrade your beliefs is to see yourself at your destination. It's the happy landing exercise. And now, if you're not driving or using your eyes for any other reason, I want you to close your eyes and take with me a slow, deep breath to relax. And another one. Great. And now I want you to imagine that you walk into a time capsule. And you have a panel in front of you, and you dial the date and time. And it is a year from now. It is the date where is the launch of your digital product. Like the launch of Tony and Dean, you have your own launch. And actually, you are in front of your laptop right now, and you check on the statistics, you check on the analytics, and you see that you have just crossed the $1 million mark. Right now, your digital product has crossed the $1 million mark. How does that feel? How does it feel that your product is so successful? How does it feel that your product, your solution, has reached the hands of so many grateful people? Hold that thought, hold that image, hold that feeling. If you can right now, multiply it by 10. Multiply the intensity by 10. How does that feel? Does it make you smile? Does it make you want to take action right now to make this a reality? Open your eyes. This was like an appetizer, but as I said the previous days, this is what you want to do. You want to train yourself with the level of success that you actually desire, not the one that your mind suggests that you deserve right now, not the one that your mind suggests that you can do right now. Because if your mind is fixed at that point, at that destination, then everything else will change for you to make that a reality. And now I can safely say again that your gifts are valuable and you are enough, and also you are ready for the third, final, and most important day of Game Has Changed event. Once again, I want to remind you that you want to subscribe and turn on the notifications on my channel. Tomorrow, we will be having the review of day 3 and some extra things that I want to share with you. So not only that you can make the right decision, but also that you can make your next steps much, much easier. Also, I want to remind you that I am at your disposal in our dedicated Facebook group. I have the links on the chat, so you can click the link to go to my Facebook group and ask permission to join and ask your questions while you have time. Last but not least, I want to remind you that you are ready to join day 3. And that said, you can click the link that I have on my chat to do so. I thank you so much for your participation. You are ready for day 3. You have an amazing time with Tony, Dean, and the other presenters, and of course, make the most of it. Let's have some fun and let's upgrade ourselves. And also, I believe that you are ready to make the right decision. You are ready. Believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. And I will see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.